Good afternoon, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm your guest host, Steve Rhoes, filling in while Tom is off in Dallas, Texas today. In fact, he is still at the Traders Expo. We'll be there for another hour. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, stop by. Give him a little bear hug for me. Yeah, still a bear hug, even though you had quite a market out here today. You had the Dow finishing up 286 points, finishing up at the top of its session. Same here with the S&P 500. Our call number here, folks, 877-927-6648. If you're not familiar with me, I kick things off for TFNN each day, every Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock to show called the Trader's Edge. If you are the least bit interested in understanding where the market is going, listen to that show. It's before the market's open, so we'll take a look at the futures market. We take a look at what's going on around the world, all of the tools out there to help you navigate these markets. You talk about navigation, folks. Questions control our focus. From the moment we wake to the moment we sleep, it's really all about questions. So let me ask you a question, and it's really apropos for today. Who has the better ability to adapt? Is it an infant? Is it a child? Or is it an adult? Now, before you say, Steve, why the heck are you asking me this question? Let me ask you this. If you're a trader in these markets, or maybe if you're an investor in these markets, is the ability to adapt an important ability in your mind? What do you think? I mean, I'd argue that it's the absolute most important ability because the winds of the markets are always going to change. They absolutely change directions today, folks. Something to think about. Now, I don't want you to, I absolutely don't want to leave the investors out here because it's really the same question is for them as well. Because frankly, 3/4 of the listeners are investors versus traders. So as an investor, do you think the ability to adapt to change is important? I mean, I think it's absolutely important. Why? In fact, if you take a look at the winds of a trader, are just a breeze of an investor. But then how about a hurricane or how about a tornado? Those are pretty powerful winds. Sometimes you got class 5 hurricanes, right? I think that's what they call them. Class 5, and you've got big tornadoes as well. I think what's the scale on those? I think it's also a scale of 5. Maybe it's a 6 on a hurricane out there. But absolutely, it's so important to be able to adapt. And so let me ask you that question again. Who do you think has the better ability to adapt? Is it a infant, is it a child, or is it an adult? Look, if you said that it was a child, you're absolutely right, folks. You see, as an adult, what happens. The older we get, we say, we've been through this, we know this. And what happens is we are not as willing to be able to change. But children can absolutely change. And why is that important, folks? Because when it comes to trading, when it comes to investing, you need to act like a kid, folks. So let's go see what the winds of change did here today. If we're taking a look at the S&P 500 closing out at 1315.09, right at the high of its trading session. What is the S&P trying to do? The S&P is trying to first get into the swing point from May 29th. That low is 1318.90. Again, it closed out at 1350. 1315.09. It's going to take on that area tomorrow for sure. The top of that swing point is 1334.93. Where's the S&P going? And the S&P is going to need more juice for sure, folks. The S&P is headed to the March 6 lows. That's the 1340 area. Let's go take a look at the Dow, see what the Dow is doing. Then we're going to switch over to the ETF structures for you. The Dow here finishing off at 12,414.56. Beautiful looking candle. I mean, you're talking about, the Dow opens at 12,125, closes at 12,414.56. What's the high of the day? 12,414.56. Up 2 3/10%. S&P up 2 3/10%. A big day with regard to wide price spread. What is the Dow doing? The Dow trying to get into the swing point of May 29th as well. The low there, 12,454.60. The high out there of 12,611.61. What is the Dow going to try to do? The Dow's going to try to break through that area. We'll see. It's going to need some absolute more energy in order to do that. If it can break through there, then the bounce will take you up into the April 10th downdraft day. It'll take you to 12,710.56. More likely the March 6th downdraft day. They're both really in the same spot. 12,734. If you haven't gotten out of the market, today And maybe this bounce is an absolute gift for you, an absolute gift for you. Let's go take a look at the Russell 2000. See what the Russell 2000 did here today, if I can find that on my screen. And, of course, I can't. So if you just give me a second here, we're going to pull that up here. $RUT. Russell 2000 closing up 19 points today, 2.5%. They were the leaders in the house. Let me get rid of some of the stuff on the screen here. What is the Russell doing? Same thing, really. Everything going after the May 29 swing point. The low on the Russell, 768.99. You closed out at 765.17. That swing point, May 29th, the high there being 778.77. That says that if the Dow can, get up and just maybe reach just above that, again, it's going to go into the March 6th lows, 785.41. The April 10th lows at 783.56. 877-927-6648, folks. Let's go take a look at the ETFs out there. Let's take a look at the volume. First one popping up on my screen here is the SPYs. Now, what did the SPYs do today? As pointed out by all of our wonderful friends here in the Tiger's Den, all our tigers and tigresses. You created this little island reversal 3-day session. What does that mean? What am I referring to? Well, if you take a look at the SPYs, folks, the low of May 31st was 130.34. You come back from the weekend, that is this Monday, and you gap down the high at 129.86. So you leave a little bit of a price spread out there. So remember that number, 129.86. What is the low of today? Because today you gap up over that, 129.93. But what's the volume today? First day in a rally attempt. If you take a look at the SPYs, you did volume, and it came in. It came in the beginning of the, if we take a look at an intraday chart, and we will take a look at an intraday chart, came in the beginning and came in the end. Talk about bookends here. And the volume, 175 million. Now, that 175 is going into the volume of 152 million from May 29th. So this could be a little bit larger bounce than what one might have anticipated if you take a look at the SPYs. Why? Because you are coming into that swing point with some decent volume. Now, of course, was it enough volume to take over? Remember, the SPYs on the way down did not break the B point on volume. That B point that I'm talking about, folks, is Monday, June the 1st. And if we do take a look at May 18th, the downdraft, 319 million shares, the high there being 131.60. You are up and over that area, but still not enough juice. You're going to need some more. Where is it that the SPYs are going to go to? Well, most likely they're going to head first to that March 6th area, 134.36 on the SPYs. It gets up there, then it will head to the April 10th area. And if we take a look at just what a normal retracement is, a normal retracement from the highs in the SPYs, how about that? Little poet, and I didn't know it. Highs in the SPYs being April 2nd at the 142.21 level, all the way down to the lows that were put in on Monday. Being, let's see here, June 4th, being 127.14. Well, the 0.382, that's what it's going to try to attack tomorrow. That is going to be the swing point from May 29th. And then what you've got is the 0.618 area, 136.45. So all around that March 6th area. If we take a look at the, let's go take a look at the diamonds out there. On the diamonds, what do we have? The diamonds today closing up at 123.93. What kind of volume did you have in it? You had 6.1 million shares. At 6.1 million shares going into 6.8 million shares for May 29th. So you had more energy inside the SPYs. The Dow is truly struggling. Let's go take a look at the small caps here. We're going to look at the IWM. And the IWM today doing a total volume of 45 million shares. That 45 million shares getting ready to take on 51 million shares from May 29th. As we round this out, before we go to break, let's look at the Qs, because the Qs, which had led us up and led us down, are going to be the leaders on the way up again. Why do I know that? Well, take a look at May 29th. That swing point, 44 million shares. You closed inside there today with 57 million shares. The Qs are going to be what you want to watch, folks, because they're going to give you the signal. They'll be attacking that swing point high. They'll be attaching March 6th, which has 54 million shares as well. 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you, folks. Give us a call. We'll be right back.
Would you like a